showing us, letting us know that, you guys are enjoying the content. Don't forget, we've also got our podcast. We've got our podcast that's going on. So if you guys are interested in coming on the podcast and wanting to talk about your experiences trading, your edge, what got you to be at this point, or anything that you've benefited from the Blue Skies product offering, our classes, the workshops, or even the live streams, we would love to have you guys in. So let Coach Matt, Coach Becky, Breezy, myself, or BluSky know. Just send us a DM that you'd like to pop in and be on one of our podcasts. We'd love to have you all there. Yeah, sorry, SSJ. It's just, we're in this tight range. We just haven't moved, so it's really hard to take another trade. We just got stopped out of that long, and we're back in the range. A lot of uncertainty in the market. Definitely buyers and sellers are at their ends trying to figure out which way this market should go. Yet no one seems to be able to take full control of it yet. But definitely good to see some of our folks on the interwebs, especially YouTube. Great to see our YouTube viewers engaging with them. We'd love to have y'all's questions or anything like that. If you guys have anything you'd like us to throw on the chart. I'm just kind of waiting myself. Like I said, I got stopped out on my earlier position. So now I'm just kind of waiting to see if we can re-enter or what the market's going to give us. So it's a hard session. So how you been, Logical? What you been up to, my friend? I haven't seen you in a minute. I got one of my old trading buddies on one of the streams. He's on YouTube. This dude is crazy. Freaking, this guy is a beast of a trader. Funny story. My friend was getting married, right? Ended up going to a bachelor party with his buddies in Vegas, right? We're all, me and all of our trading buddies, the trading stiffs are inside our Discord chatting, we're trading. This dude's in Vegas at the craps table, pops in, starts taking trades. He's winning on craps. He's winning on zero DTEs. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be enjoying yourself and you're over here trading. But you know what? That's the life of a trader. You can't take us away from the chart sometimes, Still rejecting that London high. A tough range. Is anybody in a position right now? Is everybody kind of on hands waiting as well, waiting for us to do something with this range? We're losing time though. We're running out of time on the day. Don't forget it is Friday, so our friends on the interwebs, one thing is that it is a Friday session, so most of our volume and volatility is in the morning session. So as we get closer to the New York lunch, it's here coming up in about 24 minutes. We can start losing more and more volume. London power hour just ended 6 minutes ago. So there is a loss of volume right there. Imagine all those orders just being taken from the market. All those guys start to go and enjoy their weekend. Lucky. Heard some news that Google might buy Zwillow. Kind of interesting. Dang. Google getting into real estate. Let's go take a look at gold. All right, we got a nice push up on gold, rejected at 5,056. Pulling under the 90 MA here on the one, a little bit of a rejection. Bro, we do not even need that to inflate the supply for houses. I mean, we're already there right now. There's more houses for sale than there are buyers. And houses are more overpriced now, and they're going to be more overpriced, and they make it more difficult. Yeesh. You're going to do a generational, you're going to be an indentured servant to be able to get a house, man, at this rate. It's a combination of things that have screwed up the housing market. You have too many big institutions and companies that are buying up real estate and the companies are so rich that they can afford to swoop up land, and they're screwing Americans that don't have that. We're not multimillionaires that we can afford to just go buy some, $250,000 house. We don't have that. We got to get financed for it. So they're like, oh, look, it's cheap, and then they're turning around and doubling the house price for us. It is, it, I don't even know what to say. It's infuriating. It is infuriating. I mean, don't get me wrong. I see them talking about raising home price, the value of homes, and I'm like, why do I want something that already is overpriced, even more valuable, and making it to where even less people will be able to afford it? You can already get conventional home loans at 50, right? I mean, you can already get a conventional home loan for 50 years. It is. It is nuts. It's ridiculous. I mean, 50 years, so much crap can happen to you. I mean, who wants to be on a note? Well, I don't want to be in a relationship with a bank for 50 years. That's absurd. I've already got a relationship with my wife. I don't need a relationship with my bank for 50 years. And what do they want? Man, money wasn't good enough. Now they want blood. Yep. Oh, you're right. You're right on that. Yeah, I really wonder what home prices will be when my kids are in their 40s. Feel bad for them, you know? I feel really, really bad for my kids, you know, because it's like, it puts a lot of pressure on me, because now it's like, it wasn't like before, like when I was growing up. When I was growing up, it was easy. My dad was like, oh, you got to do X, Y, and Z, and you get yourself a crib, blah, 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 get a nice car, whatever, right? And that was doable. And now it's like, yeah, you can't afford to buy, you can't afford the rent. It's wild. You can work a full-time job and still not be able to make ends meet to pay your mortgage. That's crazy. Like I got streamer friends that what they do is everything is all roommates. Like they'll get these big houses and they'll have a bunch of roommates. Rent is always higher than buying. It is. I remember, let's put it like this. Let's see, we've been here 10 years now. 11 years ago, I was paying $2,500 a month rent on my old house that we were renting. It's ridiculous. It's but here's the problem, Tiff. Okay, so I was paying $2,500 a month, right? For me to get a decent apartment in a nice neighborhood, it's going to cost me $2,100 a month. And my kids don't have anywhere they can play, can't ride their bikes anywhere, you know? It becomes very difficult, and then you're like, well, do I want to spend $2,100 a month on an apartment? I mean, and I don't even have any real privacy. Hey, some of y'all know what the apartments are like. It stinks living in an apartment. Yes, my kids do want to go to college, and I'm encouraging them to go to college. Well, yeah, it's going to be expensive, but it's just one of those things, though. The sooner you get your kids to learn about managing their finances and making money, the better off you'll be, and they'll be. My mom taught me very young how to make money. My mom was an entrepreneur all of my life. She always had her own little businesses, and she did upholstery. She was a wedding coordinator, and she opened up daycare. So my mom was always like that. And I saw from my mom that working for companies, no company is going to pay you what your worth is. Bottom line, nobody wants to pay you anything because every company wants to nickel and dime you just to get as much out of you for as little as possible. That's just the way businesses are. So how can you make more money climbing up the ladder of average businesses? Most of the businesses that we all work for are small to medium sized businesses. Most of us aren't working for big corporations that we could move up some huge ladder. And even if you were working for Microsoft or Google or some Fortune 500 company, what is it going to take for you to make a six-figure salary with that company? It's going to take tenure. You're going to need college. Exactly. It could take you 10 years. It could take you 20 years to get to that six-figure salary. And how much work and effort does it take for you to get that? And that doesn't even guarantee that you're going to get that. I found that entrepreneurship offered the biggest advantage. And you're right. You're right. The problem with entrepreneurship is getting clients. The first 5 years are hard, but that's what shows whether or not you have grit to be an entrepreneur. Because just like trading, you have to get yourself up and get ready every single day for work. You got to go knock on those doors, just like being a trader. And yeah, that is actually what it is. You know, Tiffany, is I'm teaching my kids how to trade. Like my middle son, he's 13. He knows, he understands his way around the charts now. My older son, he's what 18, he's gonna be 19 this year. He knows his way around the charts. You know, as a matter of fact, that is like what our plan is that when he graduates, that during the summer and for the first year while he's going to college, he's gonna be working and he's gonna be part-time trading with me. He's gonna have 4 to 5 hours a day. He's gonna sit with me and we're gonna look at charts and I'm gonna teach him how to trade. I told him, I was like, I don't want you to be a full-time trader. I want you to go to college first, but I'd like you to get to a point that you can at least be a trader part-time while you go to school, because you won't have the necessity that I have. And right now it's the best. Oh my God. 45 minutes in the markets in an entire 12 years. Wow. Now, my oldest is lucky. He's already at two day trading classes in high school, like finance classes and stuff. It's actually really, really funny because his current what is it? Financial, I can't remember what his teacher's like title is. It's like personal finance or something. Well, his instructor like is talking to them about trading, right? He's like literally talking to them about trading. And he's like, yeah, I don't make a lot of money trading. I'm very safe. I play it really safe. I work really hard for my money. So I don't want to lose my money in the market. And, he's in very safe investments, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think it's a question of where you're at in your life. If you're at the very beginning of your life and you're in the building stage, if you're in your 20s, what are you doing? Get more risk on. You have the rest of your life to worry about that savings. You need to be more risk prone at the beginning because you will only have that chance to be young one time in your life where you can be more risk adverse. You won't have as many responsibilities because when you're 30 and 40 and 50 years old, real life sets in. Your wife, your spouse, your children, the mortgage, multiple car payments, food for the family, clothing, insurance, all that nonsense that comes into being middle age. So it's super important that at the very beginning, that when you're young and you're getting into the market, you have to be more risk. I don't think you have to, but I strongly encourage it because if there's any one time that you can bounce back from a loss, it's when you're in your 20s. Because when you're 30 and 40 years old, you cannot afford those type of losses. You got your mom and dad you might be able to lean on and help you. And you just have to be able to substantiate and explain it to them. If there's any one time in my life that I could make a million, I could become a millionaire, it's now while I'm learning to invest. That way you're ready and you can take that opportunity and take the chance. I wish that was the case for me because if I was living at my mom and dad's, forget about it. Forget about it. I'd be killed. I would have killed it already. I wouldn't have the stress I have now, of I can only lose X amount of dollars because if worse comes to worse, I need to pull this money out of this account and go pay the light bill or pay the cable bill or whatever, and those are problems that someone young doesn't necessarily have to deal with. You found a place online that has a syllabus to follow, so that helped. Really, what is the syllabus? No, I saw you say that you found a syllabus online. Yeah, you had found a syllabus that helped you. Yeah, I hope so, Aaron. It's definitely best that your kids stay with you a little longer. I mean, I know that some folks may not want their kids with them as longer, but we're in this time and age that you just can't throw your kids out in the street You can't push them out into the world. Let me rephrase that. You can't just push them out into the world and be like, fend for yourself. The opportunities that were there 30 and 40 years ago are no longer there. It is so sad. College is expensive. AI is kicking in. There's a slew of jobs that already don't exist. And in the next 10 to 15 years, there will be countless more jobs that just do not exist. How are we helping our kids prepare for that? Yeah, I know for me, like my kids are concerned about it. They don't know what to do. Well, my oldest is a little confused on what he should do because he's like, Dad, I don't want to go to college and get in debt and then come out of college and the jobs that I went to school for no longer exist. Yeah, Aaron, I didn't move out of my mom and dad's till I was 22, 23. That's about when I moved out. And I agree with you. I struggled. But the bad thing about it is our parents did, our parents didn't know how to manage money. They knew how to make money, like boomers. I'm specifically talking about the boomers. The boomers are a great generation. And my mom and dad. I feel so sorry for them because they were the workhorses. You know, they dug in and they worked hard and they made good money. But the problem with that was that they didn't know what to do with the money once they made it. A lot of cases they wasted the money on stuff that didn't make them more money, or they didn't realize that if they did certain things with their money that they could have made a substantial more. And that's where like I'm at with my kids is that, I want them to see, how they can use money to make money for them because I've learned that, just like you guys are learning that. How do you leverage your money to work for you? There's no point in putting money in the bank anymore because, you put money in the bank. The only thing it's good for is paying for your groceries and paying for your bills. Your money's not making you money. Back in the pretense of a bank is that we loan money to the bank so that they can make money with our money. Get it? We loan money to the bank so they can take our money and make more money with our money. Why are we not doing that? Why are they using my money to make more money? And why am I only getting a fraction of it? Why am I paying for my money to be in the bank while they're using my money to make money? Where can you put your money to work for you to where you will get better than you'll get in a money market account? There's a lot of different ways you can do it. You guys are trading futures here with us, but there's other markets you guys could be experiencing. You could be doing yourself a favor right now every single month. You could be buying yourself a share of a company to just accrue it. Buy something a month. I've been doing it. I've been buying silver. I've been buying silver twice a week. The past 2 weeks I haven't because silver's been selling. So I've been selling silver. But it's just an example of how you can very easily start creating a future for yourself in a way that no one else would. You could be buying yourself a share of something that over the course of a year, you're going to have 12 shares of it, or you could get aggressive like me, buy 2 shares a week for the rest of the year. And at the end of the year, you'll almost end up with 100 shares of something. But then you could start selling calls against it. You could sell options against it. And you're going to say to yourself, why is it important right now? I'm still learning what I'm learning right now. But in 9 months' time, you will be a very different trader if you keep hanging with us. You hang out with us for another 10 months. I promise you, December 2026, you will not be the same trader you are here right now. But you have to create opportunities for yourself. You can't just keep throwing money away and not putting it in there, putting it away in a manner that could do something for you. Oh, that's beautiful, KKS. Yeah, as a matter of fact, down here in Texas, they have a 2-year pre-college program for in-state students. So that's what my son's gonna do. He's gonna go to UTSA for the first couple of years, and then he's gonna move on to Texas State. Yeah, my mom and dad, they were just entrepreneurs always working, but they always taught me how to make money, but they never taught me how to use my money to make more money. My mom and dad were always like, start a business, go to work, go get clients, blah, that stuff. And that stuff is great because that gives you capital. Building capital is one side of the equation, but there is another side of the equation of building capital. What do you do with the capital after you have it? Because if you don't know how to manage the capital or what to do with it after the fact, it is almost worthless that you even made that money because you're just going to throw it away. You're going to go buy some BS car. It's going to depreciate. You're going to go buy some nice dinner. You're going to take a vacation. Yeah, you know what? You may have a great experience from it, but beyond that, it gives you nothing. You get no return off of it. And if something happens adversely to you, what do you do then? Well, Tiffany, if you're going to a strip club, you better take me. I love me some steak and fries. Oh, man. I shouldn't even say that. We shouldn't even say that. I might get in trouble. My wife's not here. Yeah, she'll hit me. I am off limits from those establishments. We don't get that. We just get guns. Man. I would trade and screwed my 7 years in community college. It's too late. You got it on tape. I'll tell the wife. One of my best friends ruined that for all of us. It's like, well, you guys, we all have our group of friends, right? We all have our little cliques of group of friends. So I have my clique of my buddies and their wives, and we hang together and stuff. One of my buddies like misbehaved, and now all of us are blacklisted from it. I didn't partake in any of that, so I am like totally innocent on that. I got nothing to do on it. But the wife just put it down. Boom, no more. No more. I ain't got time for that, though. I ain't got time for that. My wife's too beautiful. All right, what are we going to do here at 24,913? So weak, this volume. It's like, it just, ugh. Barely making any moves. It's such a slow grind. I have a lot of orders on the chain. We're 2 minutes away from New York lunch. I mean, I know I could go, but it wouldn't be like, hey, it's Saturday. I'm going to go with my friends and go hang out at that club. You know what I'm saying? Like if we were out like somewhere and group and stuff, and I was out with you guys, it'd be different versus like just doing it on a whim. I don't know. But to be honest with you, like I'm such a homebody now. Like I don't like leaving the house. I have this crazy sound system in my living room. I've got like 315s. I got speakers everywhere. Like my living room is like a club. Like when I used to run my bars, I basically built my sound system in the living room like the clubs I used to run and own. So it's like crazy loud. I got LED lighting, color wash, and everything. It's super sick because we used to host. The house is big, so we used to host a lot of parties and stuff. And like now, it's like, yeah, I don't want to go nowhere. I'd rather just chill here. I'll throw the heater on in the pool. I'll go chill in the pool. Throw some TV on or some music. Let's go. Oh, I do not want to be on the boat with my friends for more than 6 hours anymore. I'd be like, get me off this boat. I got this crazy boat story that I was with my friends, and man, I don't know how much we were drinking, but I swear to God, we must have heard like the same 6 songs like 200 times. Like, oh my God, boats and hoes, and oh my God, they were playing the same like playlist over and over. Like, that's like my last memory on a boat. Boat stories are the best. Oh man, boat stories are the best. Lake Travis out in Austin has a place called the Cove, Devil's Cove, and people will all line up there and we'll all tie up to each other and stuff. My buddy had a beautiful Mastercraft X Games boat. That thing was sick. It was insane. That was my boat for the summer. So he sold it, and then I had to buy a boat. I had a Bayliner. Oh, I'm sure you got some stories. I got some stories. Yeah, me and my buddies, we were on the lake every weekend for like 3 or 4 years. We were just always on the lake the weekend. And then one of our other friends, he had a lake house, so we would go to his crib. I had a few friends that own lake houses. So I have one friend. I have one friend that he owns a liquor distributor down here. So his parents had a huge like lake house, but that was at Canyon Lake, Medina Lake. And I had another friend, or I have another friend that he's got a huge lake house at Canyon and stuff. And it was just like that. We would go out there and we just chill all day long. It was a good time. But I'll never buy a boat again. If anything, I'll rent a boat. That's like me now. Like after I sold my boat, I told or when we had my boat, life was already kind of changing. We were having kids, so I couldn't go out as much. So, I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to sell the boat because I'm paying more. I was paying more for it to be in storage and maintenance than I was enjoying it. And I was like, at this point, I'd rather just rent a boat. One, it's easier to write off. Two, I don't have to worry about it. Three, I get a captain. I get someone that captains the boat for me, so I don't have to worry that I got to stay sober so I don't get a DUI on the river. Because now that's a thing. I don't want to do that. The last thing I want to do is go to the can. It is more fun to have a friend. That in a boat is expensive, man. You buy a boat and the cost of it is 3 times. Whatever the boat costs, times it times 3, because that's what it's going to cost you. Definitely worth it. I love the boat, though. We're getting that slow grind. Look at Ford go again. Jeez Louise. Oh, man. I should have gotten back on those Ford calls. Man, I missed my entry on this NQ where I've been just blabbing for like the last like half hour. It's been good stuff, though. All right, team. And that concludes our London Power Hour. Yeah, they've been gone for about 24 minutes now. Oh my God, those things are ripping. Ford up 3.18% for the day. Jeez Louise, the contracts went back to 35 cents. I picked them up for nothing. 7 cents, now sitting at 35. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, you had a pontoon boat? Yeah, that's what a couple of my friends wanted. They wanted to get some pontoon boats. I looked into them, but yeah, like I said, I'm just done with it. Like it just for chilling. Yeah, it's easy. Just chilling in, just cruising around. Like a big old patio on the river. I love it. You throw a lily pad on the back of it, perfect, right? Don't need gas. There you go. There you go. There's nothing like grilling on the river. Like I love to cook. I'm a huge like I cook all the time. Well, I don't cook all the time, but I when my wife gets me to cook, I cook. You know, Dad's the grill master. So yeah, cooking on the river is definitely yeah. Most of the boats we have, or yeah, when we would take the boat, we'd almost always have a grill on it, and I always ended up cooking. Turkey, menudo. Yeah, I got a pretty big arsenal of like food that I cook. Like, I got my smoker outside. I'll make a tomahawk steak on the grill. Like I'll drop in a picture of my tomahawk that I cooked not too long ago. Bam! I love to cook though. That's like my kind of like my de-stress. Like if anything I could do to like de-stress, I love to cook. I miss cooking, you know? I don't have as much time as I used to. I know that when the kids find out I'm gonna cook or if my wife makes me cook, everybody's happy. Everybody's like, oh yeah, dad's cooking. Oh, it was good. I don't normally cook that big of a piece of meat though. I usually am, I usually do like a ribeye or sirloin. You know, I love a New York strip because it's just tasty. You know, that's about all I need. But tomahawk, woo! Yeah, we were at I think we were at Sam's and they were having some good specials on their meat. Yeah, I picked that up. My wife was like, "Look, there's a tomahawk. It's cheap." And I was like, "All right, freak it. We'll buy it. We'll try it out." Came out good. Got the meat sweats. All right, team. We're 9 minutes into New York lunch. Slower half of the session here today. You know, a lot of that volume is already pulled out. Might be a slow grind to the upside. Really hard to tell, though. Haven't really made any substantial moves. You know, barely starting to creep out of the range. Really, that breakout spot, 944. If you're a Porsche fan, we got to break that 944 spot. But doesn't look like we may get much volume out of this thing in any direction. Let's see if we got any news for today. Live announcements. Let's see what is going on. Oh, okay, that's that. Do we have any other? Let's see. Any promos? Let's go over the promos. I don't know when this sale ends. We got a handful of sales going on. If you guys are new, got General 20. Is it Welcome 26? Welcome 26. If you guys are new to Blue Sky and looking for an eval, we got a 50% off sale. That's right. Welcome 26. Tell them Coach Riz sent you and you want that 50 off, that 50 off. So don't forget, Welcome 26 gets you any eval half off. And if you're looking for a static 200 or 300K, we got a great sale. No trail. That's $120 off our static 200 and 300 accounts. That's right. You can get yourself a 200K static for $100 or $200 for 300K static. So get off the fence and change your life and get yourself a trade account so you can start trading with us each and every single morning. Oh, Jaja's over here. Dang. Busting out them ribs. Nice. I went through a phase during COVID, bought a smoker. Oh man, having a smoker is the best. It's a little different than going through a smoker phase. I love it. Man, that meat just falling off that bone, just like, oh man. Delicious. Oh, we got mama cooking now. Oh, that's a fancy kitchen there. That's a beautiful kitchen. That's a beautiful kitchen. I like it. Oh, you're welcome. I'm taking the wife out for steaks tomorrow. We're going out to fancy dinner. Damn, RQ? Really? I'm sure you wish you could. I bet you it sucks being on the road and having to eat like just the crap off the road, you know? That's what I used to hate about traveling, you know? That's the way I was. Like when I was traveling all the time, I was like, man, I missed home cooking. And then it gets to where like you have to like find like restaurants that kind of line up with your palate, you know? I remember there's like a couple of months that like I was eating at like Applebee's all the time. I was eating Applebee's like 2, 3 times a week. And then not by choice. Well, I'd be traveling and I'd be in these rural towns, and then the only good restaurant there would be like Applebee's. You know, you'd have a couple of mom and pop restaurants, yeah, Applebee's and a bunch of the fast food. And I just can't eat fast food all the time. It's just not my thing. Oh yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, pulling in with the truck makes it difficult, you know, to find somewhere you could eat. That's a tough part about that, being on the road all the time. Well, finally making that slow grind up. Olive Garden. Man, Olive Garden is like the fast food of Italian food, bro. Oh yeah. I imagine pulling double wides, you're kind of like, yeah, you got to be able to pull in and then pull out that way. So makes it real difficult. Not a lot of parking lots are situated that way. Geez Louise, the market is really pushing up now. Miss my entry. Now I gotta wait for a pullback if it's there. Always got water instead of soda too. Sheesh, double trailers. That's crazy. Oh yeah, $9.99, all you can eat. Need that if you got a bunch of mangy kids. You got a bunch of mangy kids. Mm-hmm. You have to take advantage of the buffets with them. How many times has this restarted? 13. Oh, only got 2 restarts. That's good. Hmm. Well, we got a new intraday high here on NQ at 24,959. Just trying to inch towards that 25K. Can't get to it though. No, I want to go eat on the boat. No. I'm sure I'm going to be on the boat this year. Last year we didn't get on the boat. We didn't go on the boat last year. This year I'm pretty positive we'll probably make it out. Not quite hungry though. Mm. Testing the 9 now. So little volume on this moves. Oh, cool. I got my new profile pic on the Skycast. A-Run. Gotta run, Mr. Riz. Gotta get flowers and chocolate for the lady of the house. Good luck today. I'll see you all next week. A-Run, I think you're right on that, bro. I think I've outlived my usefulness for the day. No, I'm just joking. It's a midday session, so I like to be done by about this time. I'm still kind of interested though, because the market is still moving up, though. Have a great weekend, A-Ron. We will see you next week. Have a lovely Valentine's. I should have just went long off that 9 pullback, off that 913. I could have taken a long off that. We could get a nice push though into like the close of New York launch. Really interested on that. Yeah, I think I'll cut out at the bottom of the hour. I'll call it a day there. What is the Dow doing? Dow's at 49,762, green 0.48%. The Russell is at 2,673. It is green 1.99 for the day. Yeah. I should have taken an IWN call. I like the new yeah. Hair's looking good. Now you guys are gonna want to see the Skycast for next week. The killer one, half an hour of just technical analysis and the coaches breaking it down. It's good stuff. There goes NQ pushing further up. Again, don't forget about our great classes that we've got going on next week. Trade psychology on Tuesday. Got our mentorship class on Thursday. And then don't forget, Monday through Thursday, we've got Coach Blasky and Coach Breezy from 6 p.m. Eastern all the way to 8 p.m. Eastern. You can catch our after hours coaches and our faithful leader, Coach Mike, every morning, Tuesday through Thursday next week, because he'll be off on Monday for the holiday, followed by me in the midday session. But I will be bringing in a Monday morning session myself. So you guys can catch me here bright and early in the pre-market. Man, I can't believe this move. Trump is going to be speaking at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. So you might want to just kind of watch your trades, make sure you got your stops if you're riding along on this. A little bit of a pullback here before the bottom of the hour. It's just been a slow grind to the upside. It took forever for us to break out. I'll see if we can get back maybe to 916, and maybe I'll take a long off that for continuation. Testing Monday's low. Monday's low on NQ is at 24,955. Not holding that up right now. Dixie's down 0.11% for the day. Let's see. Sorry, team. I'm just watching the price action, trying to see what we're going to do. If we're going to pull back a little bit more. All right, team. It is 11:30 a.m. CST. We've been live for a few hours now. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Midday, running out of steam a little. It's a slow grind to the upside. I definitely wouldn't be taking a short right now. I'd be looking for entries on pullbacks off the 26, and there it goes again. Let's see if it'll break that 24,969. Don't forget, Monday is a holiday, so options and stocks markets will be closed. Futures trading will be open. I think we close early though, so we'll be closing around this time on Monday. So, we'll be starting early. I'll be running the stream early. As always, my DMs are open. So if you all have any questions, feel free to shoot me a question. Love to hear from you traders, or if you guys need a trade partner or buddy or want someone to talk to about kind of what they're going through, send me a message. I'm here for you all. Love to hear from you all and help you all in any way I can. Want to wish everyone a fantastic weekend, a happy Valentine. I love you guys all. Be safe. Spend some time with your loved ones. Get the hell away from the shark. It's been a rough, long week. I hope you guys made some great money. I know next week I will be ready to kill it in the market. I am super stoked. I am ready for a great next week. I want to see us. I want to see some action next week. That's for sure. I want to see something fun happen next week. So hope to catch you all there. And there's that breakout right above that 976. I hope you guys are long on those trades. Don't forget to take profit, because the profit you see today, you may not see tomorrow. As always, good luck in the market. Again, have a great weekend. I'll see you all Monday. Thanks, team.